All right, welcome. This is Avita Yoga and A Course in Miracles workbook lesson number 126. All that I give is given to myself. So let's set ourselves up with a couple shapes to help feel the unity of giving and receiving. We're going to have the shape with legs up the wall, a simple shape. Now remember, if you don't have a wall handy, the elevation of the legs and feet is so helpful on so many levels. You could put your legs over a chair, a sofa, or an ottoman, anything to get the feet up above the knees a little bit. As you know, wall space is kind of a premium and ultimate way to have the shape. Legs are going to be up. So give yourself a moment here. I'm just going to review the shapes and then I'm going to go to the lesson. You'll be on your own to just gently move through a couple of different shapes. So opening here, you can join me right here and just close your eyes and have your feet and legs elevated. We'll be here a moment. Then we bend the knees and give the pelvis some elevation. We support the pelvis, not the low back. And for some, that is a significant change. So instead of the bolster, go for a, a folded towel or a folded blanket. Ideally, a, a dense material like cotton, or even better would be wool. Now you fold it up and just elevate the pelvis even an inch so that, see, the low back is free to melt toward the floor. It's amazing. So here we'll open, just let the shape work for you, let the yoga come to you. And that's the whole idea for the lesson today, to feel the sameness in giving and receiving. Okay, we keep the throat open, and then all you'll do at some point is bring one knee at a time toward the corresponding shoulder. So left knee toward the left shoulder, which enhances the movement of the lower back. We want the lower back vertebrae to move. Very gentle. We enhance the compression on the belly. We bring a little compression into the hip and into the knee. It's very kind, very sustainable, and you should feel very confident in the shape, even though stuff may come up. And then we practice giving as we receive. Isn't that beautiful? You'll feel that right away in the shape. The, the simultaneity of giving and receiving. As you apply, you receive. You can feel it in your body as a reflection of our reality of what happens in mind. Everything we give away is simultaneously received, which is why hate does not work. We hate or get annoyed by anything outside of us, it boomerangs back onto us, and very harmful. Okay, and then that's it. So you'll just have your legs up on the wall, pelvis unsupported. If you need to take a moment and go find the proper something to elevate the pelvis alone, you'll bend the knees, lift up, do that. Pause again. See, this whole idea of receiving and giving prevalent throughout, and then one at a time, knee to the shoulder, and then you'll finish just by resting in the shape. Okay, here we go. Lesson number 126. All that I give is given to myself. Today's idea, completely alien to the ego and the thinking of the world, is crucial to the thought reversal that this course will bring about. If you believed this statement, there would be no problem in complete forgiveness. certainty of goal in sure direction. You would understand the means by which salvation comes to you and would not hesitate to use it now. Okay, all that paragraph is referencing this opening lesson of the day. All that is given, all that I give is given to myself. I was going to say, all that is given is received. See, various paraphrases on these words. You just got to get the essence, get the idea, and practice it all day long. Number two, let us consider what you do believe in place of this idea. Okay. All right. That can be helpful. It seems to you that other people are apart from you and able to behave in ways which have no bearing on your thoughts, nor yours on theirs. Therefore, your attitudes have no effect on them, and their appeals for help are not in any way related to your own. Oh my gosh, what a misunderstanding that is. Another's call for help is our own. That's why we must respond to the appeal for help. You further think that they can sin without affecting your perception of yourself, while you can judge their sin and yet remain apart from condemnation and at peace. It's impossible to judge and be at peace at the same time. See, another's appeal for help is a reflection of our own call for help. Because we're all the bodies on planet Earth, all the bodies in form are but a symbol of the one seemingly fragmented mind. So just because I perceive another body as separate from myself does not mean that it's actually separate in truth. See, we are connected in ways that we really can't understand yet. It's our yoga to perceive all forms of fear as a call for love. It's a call for love. And whose call for love is it but ours? Yeah. Paragraph 3, when you, quote, forgive a sin, there is no gain to you directly. You give charity to one unworthy merely to point out that you are better on a higher plane than he whom you forgive. Okay, who hasn't felt that? He has not earned your charitable tolerance, which you bestow on one unworthy of the gift, because his sins have lowered him beneath a true equality with you. He has no claim on your forgiveness. It holds out a gift to him, but hardly to yourself. Paragraph 4. Thus is forgiveness basically unsound, a charitable whim, benevolent yet undeserved, a gift bestowed at times, at other times withheld, unmerited, beholding it just, nor is it fair that you should suffer when it is withheld. The sin that you forgive is not your own. Someone apart from you, seemingly, committed it. And if you then are gracious unto him by giving him what he does not deserve, the gift is no more yours than was his sin. Okay, so we walk through life and we're we're not truly benevolent. We're sort of candidly benevolent. We pick and choose, and we can see that we make the assumption that we're better off than someone else, or that we're slightly higher up than someone else because they're doing something wrong. And whether it's a little teeny tiny thing or some seemingly more atrocious act, it doesn't matter, big or small. Those little tiny judgments are all the same that keep us in our own condemned state of mind. Number 5, if this be true, forgiveness has no grounds on which to rest dependably and sure. It is an eccentricity in which you sometimes choose to give indulgently an undeserved reprieve. Yet it remains your right to let the sinner not escape the justified repayment for his sin. Think you the Lord of heaven would allow the world's salvation to depend on this? Would not his care for you be small indeed if your salvation rested on a whim? Okay, see, so in your shape, in this moment, legs up the wall, your eyes closed, your heart open, we welcome this kind of ugly reflection. You know, Jesus is just showing us the insanity of madness and the insane whims of the ego. And then he says here in number 6, you do not understand forgiveness. As you see it, it is but a check upon overt attack. Instead of outright attack, I'll hold my grudge and seem to forgive, a worldly form of forgiveness, without requiring correction in your mind or in my mind. It cannot give you peace as you perceive it. It is not a means for your release from what you see in someone other than yourself. Now, that right there is what true forgiveness is. True forgiveness is a means for your release or for my release. A false forgiveness has no power to restore your unity with Him to your awareness. Yoga joins. It is not what God intended to be for you. Paragraph 7. Not having given Him the gift He asks of you, you cannot recognize His gifts and think He has not given them to you. Yeah, if we don't extend God's gifts through forgiveness, we'll never recognize them as our own. Yet would He ask you for a gift unless it was for you? Could He be satisfied with empty gestures and evaluate such petty gifts as worthy of His Son? See, God's gifts are so complete, they're total, they're perfectly loving and kind, totally healing. Nothing held back the way worldly forgiveness always holds something back. And if we're holding something back, we will never fully receive. And it says salvation is a better gift than this. And true forgiveness, as the means by which it is attained, must heal the mind that gives, for giving is receiving. What remains as unreceived has not been given, but what has been given must have been received. Yeah, what is fully given is received. What's partially given is also received. And we don't want the partial truth. We don't want partial, well, there is no partial healing. We're either healed or not. And so at some point we just decide that we want to give it all up. The prayer would be, I want to know forgiveness. I want the healing and the gift of true forgiveness. Today, we try to understand the truth that giver and receiver are the same. You will need help to make this meaningful because it is so alien to the thoughts to which you are accustomed. But the help you need is there. Give Him, the Spirit, your faith today and ask Him that He share your practice in truth today. And if you only catch a tiny glimpse of the release that lies in the idea we practice for day, this is a day of glory for the world, right? We let a little be a lot because that's what love does. It's asking us to give 15 minutes twice today to the attempt to understand today's idea. Just 15 minutes. You're probably almost there. It is the thought by which forgiveness takes its proper place in your priorities. It is the thought that will release your mind from every bar to what forgiveness means and let you realize its worth to you. All right. In silence, maybe you've finished knee to the shoulder, just extend your legs up. If it's too demanding having your legs up on the wall, then push yourself back, support your knees with the bolster or a cushion, and just lie openly on the floor. Open heart, open mind. In silence, close your eyes upon the world that does not understand forgiveness, and seek sanctuary in the quiet place where thoughts are changed and false beliefs laid by. Repeat today's idea and ask for help in understanding what it really means. There's the prayer. Spirit, show me what is true forgiveness. Be willing to be taught. Be glad to hear the voice of truth and healing speak to you, and you will understand the words he speaks and recognize he speaks your words to you. So beautiful, so gentle. Be willing to be taught. Listen with the ears of a child. Paragraph 11. As often as you can, remind yourself you have a goal today, an aim which makes this day of special value to yourself and all your brothers. Do not let your mind forget this goal for long, but tell yourself, all that I give is given to myself. The help I need to learn that this is true is with me now, and I will trust in him. Then spend a quiet moment opening your mind to his correction and his love. And what you hear of him, you will believe, for what he gives will be received by you. Lying open-hearted, or maybe you decide to sit yourself up and lean against the wall and close your eyes and bathe, just bathe in the light, bathe in the idea that giving is receiving, and relish the power that we have, that we truly have, in going inside our mind and watching the thoughts that are condemning and harmful and hurtful and separating. Who do they hurt but ourselves? And if we really understood how harmful those thoughts are, we'd cease immediately. And that's what Jesus is showing here in these opening lines of this lesson, is showing us how harmful and how upside down it is. Whatever I give away is increased within me. I think I give away my hatred. I think I give away my fear. I think I give away my guilt, but I only grow it. The ego's so clever. We get brief moments of reprieve, but then it, we're, we're, we're required to sit with it until we really give it up. So that's the prayer today. Spirit, show me all that I give is given to myself. Help me learn that this is true now. Lesson 126. All that I give is given to myself. All right, with love in our hearts, bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes. Namaste.